I say this about John and other people. When other people can monetize what you're putting out, Stuttering John, WATP, Uncle Rico show, all that stuff. When you're the center of this attention and people are making more money than you on
Mhm.
you, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That means people are laughing at you. It's a bad place to be when you're funny when you don't mean to be funny. I can't watch John's show, but I can watch other people watch John's
It's the
show
only way.
and
It's
love
the only
it.
way.
Someone said something, it might have been Carl. I think it was Carl WATP. He said that John only he can never do anything himself. It's always someone has to do something for him. Teach me this.
Like the keychains.
Anything. This goes back to decades with Stern. He had a network, he had a back office network at Stern where everyone he uses everybody to do things for him and he never does anything himself.
That's the history of him at Stern.
Yeah, I mean, this is recorded. This is not
Yeah.
just bullshit. This is what he was known for. It's a Stern show. How many times did Stern tell John, the only reason people want to talk to you is because of me? The only reason they're giving you anything is because of me. So stop taking things. That was the big thing
That
with
was an
John.
argument when he was getting tickets to the Yankee game. And
Yes, that's a great YouTube clip. I'll put it in the description. It sums John up to a T.
it really does.
It really does. I mean, it's definitive, and it's the angle. Everyone in the dabbleverse that is a detractor of John all point at the same things, and he keeps stepping in dog shit. Like he just keeps doing things to himself that solidify everyone else's opinion of him. It's amazing to watch.
It's sad to watch sometimes.
So sometimes it is, and I said this to Johnny Cush, who is one of my favorite podcasters out there in this verse and beyond. I said to him, "Does John need everyone reminding him of that?" And Johnny was like, "No, he doesn't need that," but he brings it on himself. You know?
And now it's more of a now he's playing a character. Now he's a
Yes.
character.
When
So
it becomes performative, to me, that's when
yeah.
I'm out. Yeah, but it is funny. I think performative John is funnier than serious John.
Well, yeah, funnier definitely. I mean, I just a couple of from the last time I sniped him, which I was yesterday. I don't think he went live today. I definitely posted a few clips on X from his show that were very funny because he was being way over dramatic, way overacting. Um and it actually is funny, and if someone didn't know who he was or what it was, they would see it and laugh. But then if when you know who he is and what it is, then it's kind of sad.
I said this about John and my take on John, and I think I said it to Corn Diff on one of our videos. It might have been the Comprehensive Guide to the Dabbleverse. John, to me, is hacky. He's a hack.
Yes.
And I don't mean that the way comedians take it. Comedians take that as an insult. I don't mean hack as an insult. He's like Jackie was. Jackie was a hack. He's just a joke teller. What makes it funny is how he tells the joke. So to me,
Right.
when John is just being hacky, when he's in radio interviews and he's doing the obvious crowd work, so to speak, and picking on the obvious stuff, he's funny. That's in my opinion. So John, I always
Right.
say John should embrace the role of being a hack, be performative, John, the hack. But he's got too much of an ego, or he don't realize that's his strength. He sees hack and joke telling. He wants to be like Corey Feldman wants to be a respected musician. He wants to be a respected comic, and he's not a comic. He's a performer.
A lot of people said to me, I produced the train wreck show, and
Yes.
and that show, no one knew what that show was until Carl brought it on WATP, right?
Oh yeah.
And I can't think of the person who actually originally sent it to Carl, but when they saw themselves on that show and being made fun of, um, they said, you know what, that's funny. And when that's the reason why I'm involved with them is because I saw that they laughed at it, leaned into it, and now they're part of the Dabbleverse too, and they're having fun. Now, John,
Mm.
his entry to the Dabbleverse could have been the same way. He could have leaned into it and said, all right, you know what? these
Yeah.
people are making fun of me. Let me show them that what they're making, I can be good. Instead, he attacks and he starts fights and he became the villain. And I really think that deep down, if right now, let's say John's just sitting on a couch in the house by himself, obviously, I think he's sitting there going, I wish I did this differently.
Absolutely. He's got to. He's not that delusional anymore. He can't be with lawsuits
Yeah.
and all this other nonsense that in a way he's brought on to himself, but I'm going to give him a pass on a lot. I think her personally harassing people and calling their jobs and stuff is a little over the top.
Yeah, it is.
It's ego. That's the problem. Helga and Lisa don't have egos. You have to be able to laugh at yourself, and you're right. John had the opportunity to embrace it, and his last chance was going to DabbleCon 1. If he would have did what
Right.
everyone wanted at DabbleCon 1, come out, do the squeegee joke, do some hacky jokes, everyone was just going to be going nuts.
Right. It would have been beautiful.
He could have rode the wave, and he would have been getting the same amount of super chats. He would have been.
And he'd be the star of DabbleCon too. He'd right now, instead of his couch, it
Yep.
would be him.
Yep. So he did. He fucked it
And
up.
he would be the main attraction of the whole weekend.
He fucked it up. And that's once again is guys that are in control of their own universe. These guys just trip over their own feet. I mean, I use the term fuck ups. They're just fuck ups. Now when you're a fuck up with money and celebrity, it makes these guys head of their own kingdom.
It does. It's funny you said that because a lot of the clips that I post up about John, I write John steps on his own foot again,
Yep.
and that's exactly what he does. He steps on his own foot.
They just can't give up the dream. And John already made the dream come true. John has already been there. John's on the back end of it.
And that's why John was embarrassed by having to drive for Uber and being a school teacher, and that's why he wanted to lie about all these things. Also, Salvation Army. He didn't want anyone to know about that stuff because he was on the Tonight Show, and you would never think, hey, an announcer on the Tonight Show is driving for Uber. What happened? He didn't want people to ask that question.
And what happened was what Johnny Cush said. It's his ego. His ego happened. He had to get a mansion in Hollywood. My biggest fault with John, or my biggest criticism of him, where I think is valid, is not his career. It's not what he's done. It's not what he hasn't done. It's not how many super chats he makes or how many viewers he gets. It's the fact that you were a fucking millionaire and you pissed it all away.
Yeah.
You can. That being a millionaire and getting there has its street cred, and I give him all the credit in the world. But
Absolutely.
you have to take credit for fucking it up too.